So, quick little backstory. In January, I went to a museum in San Francisco and then I made a video about it. Basically, I talked about how the things I saw there left me feeling really motivated to be creative. And, well, I really liked making that video, and I wanted to try making more videos like it. So with that, we're going to talk about what happened to me in March. There were also a couple motivating moments in February as well, but we're going to skip those for now. If this video does well, then maybe I'll go back and make a video about February too? I don't know, that's what you're supposed to say as a YouTuber, right? Anyway, after 2 straight months of finding things that made me feel passionate and motivated, I was having a rare moment of optimism going into March. Which I should have known was a bad sign, because what happened instead was I was hit by a massive wave of depression. I'm pretty sure most people who clicked on this video know about the concept of the tortured artist. I mean, was old man Mr. Cut Off Part of His Ear Van Gogh a great artist because he was poor and mentally unstable? I was certainly not convinced. I tried many times before to use art as a way of distracting myself from my poor mental state, but it never seemed to work. At least until recently. Sorta. I'll explain while also showing a speed draw in the background that I did when I was feeling both depressed and overwhelmed. It's the first time I've ever recorded myself drawing, and I'm still not very comfortable with doing digital art, so if you're gonna roast me, at least make it funny. So, even as a kid, I didn't have any good ways of dealing with stress and coping with my emotions. I've tried a couple of different methods that I found either through research or just from observing other people. There was this book I read in high school but never finished called Men Are From Venus, Women Are From Mars, or maybe it was the other way around. Anyway, it was a psychology book about the relationship between men and women. I remember one chapter talking about how men and women deal with problems or stress. Again, it's been a long time since I read it, so I don't remember the exact details. I remember it presented the idea that men are more solution action based while women are more emotion validation kinda based. The best example being a wife going to their husband after a long day at work and they tell him about all the BS that happened that day. And then the husband tries to provide a solution or give advice, and the wife snaps back saying, "You're not listening to me." It was because they were not asking for a solution, they instead wanted emotional validation. They want their husband to agree that, yeah, all that stuff was bad and stressful, and then provide comfort to them in some way. The way I presented it makes it kind of sound silly, but think about it this way. Yes, a solution can help, but I think most people would probably agree that they would have preferred the issue to have never happened in the first place. And a solution doesn't change the fact that the problem caused emotional turmoil, which is not guaranteed to go away even after a solution is found. So I don't think emotional validation as a form of comfort and relief is irrational. However, I do disagree with the idea that these two types of, I'm just going to call them stress relief methods for now, I disagree that they are that strongly separated by gender. Here's my reasoning. My mother is absolutely a solution type. At least that's what my siblings and I always received whenever we came to her with an issue. I also saw her instinctively do it for other people too, in case someone tries to argue that she only did it for us because we're her kids. Meanwhile, I've also dealt with the opposite. I remember times when friends, male friends, have come to me about things that are bothering them and just want to hear, "Yeah, that sucks, bro. I'm sorry that happened to you." I understand why the book separates them like that though, because the whole guys not being in tune with their emotions because they weren't taught how kind of norm of society. I will say the stress relief method you give to others may not always be the one you wish to receive in return. I'm not a psychologist or anything, I just wouldn't be surprised if that was the case. As for me, I am absolutely a solution action-based type. If something is causing me stress and there's a solution and it can be immediately acted on, it's like instant gratification. All the stress and negativity just blown away, and it feels great. The problem is, as I learned very early in life, simple, guaranteed, straightforward solutions are very rare. So even if it is effective, it's almost never ends up being a viable option. So I tried the emotional validation method instead, but it was also no good. I know for me that I've dealt with enough BS in my life that, yeah, it's cool to know I'm not crazy and that the BS was in fact BS, but I would rather have these moments just not happen at all, personally. There are other stress relief methods though. I found at least 2 more types. There's what I'm calling the positive distraction method. Basically, after a long, stressful day, you just want to not think about the bad stuff at all and do something else, something positive like play video games. And if someone comes to them being stressed, they will offer to do something fun with them that will take their mind off things. Unfortunately, distractions rarely work for me either, as I have difficulties not thinking about multiple things at once, and I have a hard time letting things go once they've bothered me. That just leaves one more stress relief method I've observed, and it's one that's rather controversial, and that would be venting. Just talking about how things are making you feel and just embracing being emotional till those feelings are spent. If you watched Inside Out, you know the lesson of the movie is that all your emotions are important, both the good and the bad. You need sadness, you need anger, and you need to let those things out at times. Of course, this can end up being toxic if misused, but I think all these methods have that potential. This is the method I tried for the longest of times, cause it helped like a small amount, but in the end I couldn't release it as quickly as it was building up. I knew that I needed a way to let go of stress and things bothering me, but nothing seemed to work. So now we finally get back to what happened in March. I was feeling shittier than I had in a long time for various reasons and ways I could not express with words. So what changed? Well, I picked up my stylus and I drew something. I know what I said in the beginning about art not helping, but this time was different. I didn't try to use it to distract myself, but instead as a way of expression. A way to put all these emotions that I couldn't organize or put into words and try to make them visual. No direction, no plan, just following my feelings until I made this monstrosity that looks like a children's crayon drawing that you would see in a horror movie. After I finished though, I wasn't feeling bad anymore. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't feeling good either, but I was more neutral, calm. I had some semblance of peace. At first I was going to call this a new stress relief method, but I realized it was similar to venting, but in a non-verbal way. So instead we're just going to combine the two and call it the expression method. Basically letting out the feelings that are causing you stress with an outlet that can be either verbal or non-verbal. So it can be venting, it can be doing art, or even some kind of physical activity like exercise. This is why there's a correlation between art and mental issues, because it can be hard sometimes to express your feelings with simple words or using words at all. In Van Gogh's case, it's not like he could go to therapy. Even if there was some semblance of clinical psychology back in the day, it was most likely pretty bad. I mean, just 60 years ago, there was a guy who was sticking an ice pick through people's eye socket bones so they could reach their brain and just swirl it around like they're flushing a toilet, all while the person is awake, in order to cure their mental illness. And this was seen as reputable science. I'll just stick to my therapist, thank you. And yeah, some people might be thinking, yeah, this is so obvious, how did you not understand this? Well, sometimes you need to say the obvious things out loud in order for them to actually click. I've done more of these stress relief drawings, including the one you're seeing in the background. It helps, but it's not perfect. It works best when I can finish a piece and, well, drawing can take time. This speed draw alone took about 8 hours of work, so I don't always have enough time in the day to do it when I really need to. I still think the solution method is still my primary stress relief type though, with how effective I know it can be when it is a viable option. But I believe the expression method is a good secondary, one that I am happy to have found and will definitely be continuing to use in the future. So, just to summarize, in March, I learned how to use art in order to get my shit together. No. I learned to use art to express the things I had difficulty doing verbally before and found a new method of relieving stress. That's all I got for this month. I don't know if I'll release another video next month. I hope to. We shall see. I don't know why I'm singing. Anyway, have a good morning, noon, or night, everyone. Whatever time of day it is for you. I just hope you have a good one. Later. Seriously, why am I singing?